Thank you for watching technology tips produced by various staff of Grand Haven Area Public Schools. I am Ingrid Hines, the Technology Training Coordinator for GHAPS. The tip for this video is how to use ActivInspire's container property to create objects that can contain anything. After viewing this video, you should know how to access the property browser, update the container section of the properties browser so the object can contain anything, and how to turn on the drag a copy feature to allow unlimited duplication of the newly created object. Let's begin by looking at an example that uses the can contain anything property. Here we have an example that says click and drag the worksheet below, write your name on it, and solve the problem by writing on the area below the problem. So we'll click and drag up one of the worksheets, grab our pen, write our name where it says name, and then begin solving the problem. Let's say they want us to solve for x. So we can begin writing and moving, following our algebra steps to solve for x in the worksheet area. So once the student is done, what do? They grab the worksheet, move it to the side, and then the next student can come up and do the same thing. Grab the worksheet and begin solving. And here you have a nice little sticky note with one student's work, and then you have another one you can begin with another student's work. And of course, if you use the dual pen, you can have two students up doing their work at the same time. And the beauty is that each person's work will follow their own sticky note. That's called a container that will contain anything. Cool, right? How do you do that? Let's scroll to the next page and show you exactly how that's done. The first thing you want to do is decide on what your container will be. And again, your container could be any object. It could be a picture or it could be a shape. In the case above, we use the shape. So let's go and grab a rectangle. So you draw your rectangle, okay? And you always want your containers to be the first things that you create, so that anything else that you put on top of that will be, or anything that you try to put on top will be on top of the shape. The container has to be first. Now, once you have created your shape, you click it, and then you go to the properties browser, and you want to go down to the container section for the selected object. And where it says can contain, you want to change that to anything. And that's it. So now you have a container that will contain anything that's dropped on top of it. So right now I could grab my pen and I could scribble right on top of it. If I go back and grab my selector arrow and I move that container, it moves with it. At last, to our third learning target, and that is how to turn on drag a copy so that you can pull out numerous copies of your cool worksheet. All you have to do is grab your selector, right click on the object, and choose drag a copy from the menu that pops up. And notice that your pointer turns into a green plus sign, and all you have to do now is click and drag out as many copies every worksheet as you want. Notice that it's duplicating the writing too, so before you turn on drag a copy, you want to make sure that your worksheet looks exactly how you want it. So, have fun creating your containers that will contain anything. I hope you enjoyed watching this technology tip.